All right, put that right there. We are live with another one, guys. Live with another one. Welcome to the channel. This is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Like I always say, it takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right. Well, guys, let's get straight into the topic of discussion of today, guys. And that's the UFC is actually holding an event at the White House. How big is that, guys? The UFC has catapulted into new heights now. Okay, it really has. It's catapulted into new heights. Dana White, Donald Trump making plans for an event to be held on the White House lawn, guys. All right, I'm playing around. I'm not sure if it's going to be held on the White House lawn, but it definitely is being held at the White House, guys. Apparently, Donald Trump says there's going to be over 15 to 20,000 people in attendance, okay, for this UFC event that's happening at the White House. This is via Donald Trump. I'm very excited about this. I really am. I'm just wondering who is going to headline this type of event. All right, this is not an everyday event. This will be the first time the UFC actually holds an event at the White House, guys. This is kind of similar to the Sphere. If you guys remember the Sphere, they made a big deal about it. It was the first time the UFC ever went to that arena. They utilized it. The ticket prices was phenomenal if you're rich. And I wonder who is going to headline this event at the White House. That is an important question. All right, that is a very, very important question because they can't give a lackluster event. I mean, that can't happen, guys. You know what I mean? It can't be another Sphere event, you know what I mean, where you have, Valentina and Grasso, wrestling the whole time. And then you got Marab just, totally demolishing Sean O'Malley. Guys, this is a huge event happening at the White House. First time ever the UFC will actually get a chance, okay, to hold an event at the White House. This is big news, guys. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. Like I always say, this is your channel. I am just the pilot. I'm guiding this son of a bitch, okay? But you guys are building this community, and I thank you guys, okay? The only channel where the fans come first, not last. Claudia Lopez says, hello. How you doing, Claudia Lopez? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully you like and subscribe. This is your home now if this is your first time on this channel, okay? But guys, I mean, I know for a fact I don't want to see not one heavyweight fight at the White House. I don't want to see that because first of all, that whole division is in shambles. All right, we don't need to bring that debacle, you know what I mean, to the White House lawn. You know what I mean? We could keep that debacle away from the White House. All right. So there won't, in my opinion, there won't be any heavyweight bouts. Guaranteed. No heavyweight bouts. scratch all those heavyweights. All right. I mean, man, this is a big deal. Imagine Paddy the Baddy and Ilya Taporia headline at the White House. That'll be a big ass deal. That'll be huge. Last night was amazing. You are a great lover. Big kiss. Awesome. Also, I don't know about last night. I don't know what happened last night. I had a great night. Today is July the 4th. You know what I mean? Independence Day over here in the US of A. All right. So yeah, it's when Independence Day happened? 1776. It's been a long time since then. But happy holidays to everybody on the chat. Happy holidays to your family. Bless you. Hopefully you enjoy your day and you don't get your fingers blown off, okay? I'm Portuguese. Well, Claudia, awesome. That is awesome if you're Portuguese. You know what I mean? Or you speak Portuguese? I'm confused. I'm confused. Isn't Portuguese a language? It isn't like a race. Maybe you could correct me, Claudia, but I thought Portuguese was a language, not a race. But maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. I have no idea. Just because I have I have Brazilian friends who talk Portuguese, and I understand some of the words because I do talk Spanish. I am Latino, so I do talk a little bit of Spanish. So I do understand some of their lingo, but I had no idea it was actually a race. Um, Rest in peace, Diego Jota. Diego Jota. Who is that? Sun God, who is that? Rest in peace to him, man. Sun God, welcome back to the chat. Making your appearances. I appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, I would like, man, I don't know who would headline this event at the White House, to be honest with you. I have no idea, but they could have some epic fights there. Definitely should have some flyways there. You know what I mean? Like I mean, Alexander Pantoja versus Joshua Van. That's a banger. You know what I mean? It's going to be a very technical type of fight. So possibly we could see, some exciting fights like that. I mean, like I said, Ilya Tapoya versus Islam could be a possibility. Uh Man, Chimaev versus whoever the hell they want when he wins the belt against DDP. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities for this UFC event being held at the White House. If you're from Portugal, then you are Portuguese. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know. Thank you for letting me know, Sun God. I had no idea about that. I'm just being honest. I had no idea. So I appreciate you informing me about that, man. I appreciate it. Well, Claudia Lopez, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. Hello to you. Blesses to you and yours. You know what I mean? This is your home now. Okay. I always say this. This is not my channel. This is your channel. So everybody that, is a part of this community, I really appreciate you. You know what I mean? For showing up and showing love, man. That's awesome, guys. Does Armin get the next title fight versus Ilya? Guys, that's the fight to make. Sun God, that is the fight to make. It'll be atrocious if Paddy the Baddy gets, the opportunity to fight Ilya Taporia before Armin. Because in my opinion, Armin, he should have gotten the opportunity before Charles Oliveira. Okay, Charles Oliveira is definitely out of his prime. And, I mean, he wasn't really on a good winning streak like Armin was. Armin was definitely deserving of that title shot before Oliveira. But unfortunately, the UFC, they do things differently these days. Okay, so I honestly think Armin definitely deserves the next shot, and I'm hoping the UFC puts that together because there is rumors that Paddy the Baddy will be fighting Justin Gaethje, but will I'll keep my eye on that, and we'll see if it's just rumors or if it's actually happening. We shall see. Um, and you got Chimaev versus DDP. Yes, man, I do. I mean, in my opinion, I think Chimaev wins that fight. I think Chimaev wins that fight, Sun God. I think, don't get me wrong, DDP, very phenomenal fighter, great champion. Sometimes you watch the guy and you're like, how is he winning this fight? And then all of a sudden, he wins the fight. It's like, it's amazing to me because the guy, he's not really technically sound. He's the 2.0 version of Keith Jardine, but he keeps winning and he's the champion. So, I do have Chimaev winning that fight against DDP. I do have Chimaev winning that fight. Man, I just, you know, I'm just not. I am just not sold that the UFC are, I'm just not sold that the UFC are moving forward with what they got going on right now. You know what I mean? Like and what I'm saying is, for some odd reason, the UFC they seem like they just throwing shit at the wall. You know what I mean? Like they just throwing shit at the wall, and if it even if it doesn't make sense, they're like, oh well, we'll do it because I think regardless, people are gonna watch. And it's like, man, what are you talking about? The UFC needs to get this shit together because I mean, if you look at that card with DDP and Chimaev, if DDP or Chimaev don't make it to that fight, that whole card is in shambles. And this is what I'm talking about. Like I don't understand what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like to the point where it's like they're throwing shit at the wall and they're just putting cards together and they don't give a shit how the card looks, just as long as you know what I mean. They got a headliner that everybody is excited for. When in reality, it's not about the headliner; it's about the card itself. And unfortunately, a lot of these cards they fucking suck. Uh, who did who worse? DDP to Rob or Chimaev to Rob? Aside the broken jaw, I honestly think Chimaev did Robert Whitaker the Reaper way worse because, in my opinion, Chimaev just took advantage of him. You know what I mean? There was no point where Robert Whitaker looked like he was going to have success. And against DDP, there was moments. I'm not going to say there was moments there, but DDP ended up finishing him in a way where it was like, he was the more power puncher and he was the bigger fighter and he made Whitaker feel it, but it wasn't like where Chimaev just went in there and ragdolled him and just took advantage of him to the point where it was like it almost seemed as if he could do anything to him and Robert Whitaker could not even stop him. You know what I mean? So I think Chimaev definitely did him way worse. What's up, gang? Dean making his appearance on the chat. Welcome back, Dean. Welcome back to your home, man. Welcome back. What's up? 113 here. Gotta go sleep. Oh man. Well, welcome back to the chat and welcome back out of the chat. I appreciate you for showing love. I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know what the UFC is gonna do, and I don't know who they're gonna pick to headline this card at the White House. I really don't know who they're gonna pick because, in my opinion, it cannot be anybody. You know what I mean? It can't be anybody. They need exciting fights. This is the only time, the one time most likely that the UFC will actually hold an event at the White House. So it's sort of like a big deal. It really is. So in my opinion, man, if I could make a card, man, if I could make a card right now, what would it be? I think if I had to make a card up right now, it won't be pay-per-view though, right? It most likely will be. I mean, look at what happened. Look at what happened to the Sphere. If you remember, that was the one-time event that the UFC was holding at the Sphere, and that definitely was a pay-per-view. And not only was it a pay-per-view, but the ticket prices was atrocious. I'm talking about price gouging the fuck out of their fans. So it most likely, if they're holding an event at the White House with Donald Trump in attendance, and a whole bunch of important political people as well, this is not going to be a regular UFC fight night, guys. This is definitely going to be a pay-per-view event, and they're definitely going to price gouge the shit out of it because it's going to be a one-time event. So yeah, definitely going to be a pay-per-view, most likely, for sure. They're going to want American fighters. They definitely are going to want American fighters, and they're definitely going to want to make a statement. All right, so let's go. Let's put some fights together, guys. Let's play matchmaker right now. All right, with this community, I think we can do this. All right, let's go ahead and play matchmaker for the White House and Dana White and Donald Trump. Make it easy for them. Let's go ahead. Let's start making these matchups, man. Let's see who can headline and be on this White House card. Okay, let me read some of these chats. But the Sphere has the room and the capacity for pay-per-view attendance. Well, according to Donald Trump, there will be about 15 to 25 people in attendance at the White House for this UFC event. So that's more than, what they need. You know what I mean? That's basically filling in an arena. You know what I mean? So 20,000 to 25,000 people, that's a lot of people watching one event for one night. So I do see it being a pay-per-view, man. Kobe going to want the main event. Sun God, Kobe can't be the main event. There is no way Kobe can be the main event, unfortunately. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago would have been good, but unfortunately not right now. Guys, let's play matchmaker. All right, let's play matchmaker right now. I think who is going to be the main event of the evening of this White House card? Let me know in the chat. Let's play matchmaker. Let's throw some shit on the wall, just like the UFC does, but let's do it really, really educatedly. Wow, that's not even a word. Let's be knowledgeable when we're making these decisions, okay? Let's educate the UFC. All right, in my opinion, how do you guys feel about a heavyweight bout as the main event of the evening? How do you guys feel about that? Let me know in the chat. And in my opinion, I think if it's going to be a heavyweight bout at the main event, it has to be Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira. How do you guys feel about that as the headliner? And should that be a headliner? Let me know in the chat right now. Rapid fire. Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira as the headliner for this White House event, one-time event at the White House. Let me know. Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for that strap. Should that and could that be a headliner for this White House event? Let me know in the chat. You want to see that so bad. You want to see that so bad. Guys, the only reason why I'm bringing that up is because it wouldn't even make sense if they have an event and they don't bring a heavyweight bout. You know what I mean? There has to be a heavyweight bout on the card, and if there's only one heavyweight bout on the card, it has to be the one. It has to be Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira. There's nothing else that's exciting in that heavyweight division. The heavyweight division is in shambles. Name another fighter that Tom Aspinall should fight that's exciting and that excites you. There's nobody in that heavyweight division that's exciting right now. I don't want to see Tom Aspinall versus, what is his name? Whoever the hell it is. Let me name some fight. Cyril Gane. I don't want to see him fight Cyril Gane. I don't want to see him fight Waldo Cortez Acosta. None of those are exciting to me. So to me, Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira makes sense. Let me know in the chat if you guys would watch that as the headliner for this one-time event at the White House. Alex ain't ready, man. What do you mean he ain't ready? What are you talking about, Sun God? Just what was it, like a week and a half ago? I made a video about Alex Pereira actually posting on his Instagram that he weighs 243 pounds. Okay? Alex Pereira right now is walking around at 243. He is a heavyweight right now. Okay? So in my opinion, if he's walking around with that weight, he's definitely ready. He is definitely ready. All right? And sooner than later, I want to see that fight because Alex Pereira is getting older. All right? As the days go by, he's getting older, guys. He's too small. That's what they said about Ilia Topuria. A lot of people were saying he's too small to go to lightweight. And he just punched his ticket, you know what I mean, in that division and became champion. Okay? So if we're talking about a puncher's chance, I like Alex Pereira's chances against anybody in the heavyweight division, including Tom Aspinall, guys. All right? I like his chances. Alex Pereira lands more punches and is more accurate than most of those heavyweights in that division, guys. Tom probably walks at 260 plus. And what does that mean? What the hell does that mean? Okay, he can walk around at 360 plus, and I still have faith that Alex Pereira can land a punch on Tom Aspinall. Okay, I guarantee it. If Curtis Blades can land some punches on Tom Aspinall, I guarantee Alex Pereira can land some punches on Tom Aspinall as well. More accurate. Alex Pereira is definitely way more accurate than Curtis Blades, guys. Let's be real. I want to see that fight. I want to see it. So, all right. So, Sun God, you're saying that Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira is not a good enough fight to headline this UFC fight night. I mean, this UFC card at the White House. That's basically what you're saying, right? So, let me know on the chat. Who would you like to see headline this card? Let me know. Let me know who headlines this card then. If it isn't Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira, then who headlines this card? Honestly. Because in my opinion, if you're holding an event at the White House, this has to be one of the arguably the best events that the UFC can hold. Honestly. It has to be one of the best events that the UFC can hold. Top to bottom. It can't be no top heavy type of card. It has to be top to bottom, great card, best event. So let me know. Let me know who should headline that card. If it isn't Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira, because right now I have Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira as number one candidate. All right. To headline that. And that's my opinion. Not Tom versus Blaze. They are 1-1 apiece. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Being 1-1 against Curtis Blaze is nuts. That's fucking insane, bro. It really is, guys. I don't know what to say. All right. So who's gonna co-main event as well? Who will co-main event this card as well? Let me know in the chat. Let me know on the chat who will co-main event this event. I would like to know. All right. I would like to know. Let me know on the chat. I think the co-main event, it should definitely be for another strap. It should definitely be for another belt. So I'm thinking, man, let me see. Huh. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. How about hold on, Valentina versus. How about Valentina versus Wei Li? How about two champions? We got the 125 champion, the 115 champion fighting against each other. Valentina versus Wei Li, champion versus champion. Do you think that could co-main event? You know, at the White House? Do you think that's a good card? Do you think that's a good fight on the card as a co-main event? Let me know. When is the White House card? I have no idea when is the White House card. There's been no specific date that Donald Trump and his people had put out there, you know what I mean, to the media. It was just yesterday that they put out the information that Dana White and Donald Trump are actually working on, you know, putting an event together at the White House, holding 15 to 25,000 people for this event. So that's the only specifics that they actually put out there for the media. There's no specific date right now. But yeah, you know, it's definitely most likely going to be held. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not going to put it maybe early 2026. But we shall see. We shall see. Now we cooking. Or Pantoja versus Vaughn. I did bring that up. I did bring Pantoja versus Vaughn, but how do you guys feel? I mean that could be the third fight. But they need an American. Unfortunately, there's no like American champion right now. There's no American champion right now. In the UFC. I mean, hold on. Let me think about this. Flyweight division, Alexander Pantoja. Bantamweight division, we got Marab. Featherweight division, we got Volk. Lightweight division, we got Ilya. Welterweight division, we got JDM. Middleweight division, we got Chimaev. I mean, we got DDP. Okay. We got DDP, but whatever. Light heavyweight division, we got Ankalaev. Heavyweight division, we got Tom Aspinall. There is not one American UFC champion in the UFC right now. So I don't know who they can bring. So you know what? Having an American champion is not possible right now. Okay, guys, it's just not possible. so man, I like Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira as the headliner. I like Valentina and Wei Li as a co-main event just because I think I think if you're gonna have a heavyweight, main event, then I think you should definitely complement the women's and their divisions respectively, and have them co-main event as well. That would speak volumes. I think it will be great to promote the women's division as well. So Wei Li versus Valentina Shevchenko, champion versus champion as a co-main event. I would definitely think that's a good start right there. Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall as a co-main event. Valentina Shevchenko versus Wei Li as a co-main event, and Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira as the main event. I think that sounds good to me. But who's under Valentina and Wei Li? Jack versus Islam. That's a crazy fight. Or rematch Alex versus Magomed. So you get to see Alex. No, no, hell no. I don't want to see that. Jack versus JDM. That's a good fight. That's another good fight. Wow, that's a really good fight. One, two. I don't think they're gonna do that though. They already have two belts on the line, heavyweight and the women's title. So I don't think they'll have another belt on the line. But I wonder who else. Who else can find themselves on this card? Let me see. Uh, I like MVP. MVP he always comes out to fight, man, and he always makes it entertaining. He really does. So MVP versus anybody would be fun, to be real. But I don't know. I don't know who they'll put against MVP right now. I think MVP is booked to fight somebody already. But I think that would be exciting to have MVP on this card. He's a very exciting fighter, very fun fighter to watch. You know what I mean? Very appealing to the eye. Kayla Harrison is your American champ. Damn, bro. Holy shit, Sun God. People forget, man. People forget. Yo, Sun God, bro. You got me cracking up over here, bro. And you're right. You're absolutely right. I totally forgot about the women's division when it came to Kayla Harrison winning that strap. I totally forgot, guys. I totally forgot. And the reason why I totally forgot is because that woman division is in shambles. That woman bantamweight division is in shambles. I made a video about it already. Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes need to have a 3-fight trilogy because that freaking division needs to develop. And I wouldn't care if it took 2 years to have that trilogy fight between Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes, because I think even after 2 years, that women's bantamweight division will still be in shambles. There's nobody there. Okay, that's the most likely why the reason I totally forgot about Kayla Harrison being an American champion in the UFC, the only American champion in the UFC, okay? That division is in shambles. It's a debacle, okay? But you're right, son God. We do have one American champion, and her name is Kayla Harrison. Say it with your chest. All right, Kayla Harrison. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Kayla Harrison, maybe Kayla Harrison could, yeah, Kayla Harrison. Wow, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got some bouts here. So that's a fight to make for co-main. Kayla versus Amanda. You know what? I'm sold. I'm sold, son God. You got me sold. I'm erasing Valentina versus Wei Li, and I'm putting Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes as the co-main event, guys. Guys, we got Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the heavyweight title. Okay. We got Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes for the bantamweight title. Okay. That is a good start and a good way to matchmake this first card at the White House, guys. I cannot complain about this start right now. All right. Who goes under Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes? Let me know on the chat. I want to know. Thank you so much, Son God, for being the only one on here that's actually, communicating with me. I appreciate you. I really do. All right. But yeah, guys, I mean, shit. Then throw the BMF under Kayla. Whoa, BMF title. BMF. But who? I mean, who has the B? I mean, I know Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier is happening and whatnot, but who would you like to see fight for the BMF title? You know what I mean? Who would you like to see fight for the BMF title? That's the question here. Because in my opinion, I think Max Holloway is outdated when it comes to the BMF title. You know what I mean? I mean, especially after getting finished by Ilia Topuria and now fighting Dustin Poirier. I don't think that's going to be for the BMF title. I just think that's going to be just a regular fight. You know what I mean? I don't think the BMF title is going to be on the line. At least I don't think when it comes to Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. But who fights? Who fights for the BMF title if the BMF title will be on the line after Kayla Harrison and before Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes? Let me know in the chat. Who fights for the BMF title? Who is that? Who are those two people? You know what I mean? Who is those two people? Who are those two people, man? I'm curious right now. I really am. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna stay on here for a little bit longer because I do got stuff to do. I gotta go do some things today. But yes, guys, I'll stay here for another 2 to 3 minutes here and break this down right now. Breaking news. I'm actually surprised about this, man. You know, I'm actually surprised about how the UFC is actually pulling moves to the point where they're welcome to the White House. You know what I mean? It's amazing. You know, it really is. The NBA and the NHL, MLB, all these big organizations, they've never held an event at the White House. At least I don't think. I can't recollect from my top of my mind any of those big leagues ever holding an event at the White House. And it's not like the White House doesn't have a full basketball court. They definitely do. I know that for sure. So it's like I just wonder why they never held an event, and now having the UFC holding an event at the White House with Donald Trump as the president. I mean, that's a phenomenal look for the UFC and the sports of mixed martial arts in general, guys. This is a big deal. This is a huge, huge deal. This is a bigger deal than what anybody seems to notice at this point. Honestly, that's the reason why I think it's so important to really emphasize, you know what I mean, who you put on this card. It's very important because this might be a one-time event at the White House, so you want to leave an everlasting impression. If you're going to be the first sport organization to hold an event at the White House before the NBA, MLB, NHL, before any of those multi-billion-dollar organizations, you're going to have to do your due diligence. And I'll tell you what, the UFC is winning at this. Right now, the UFC is definitely winning. And I want to give them a round of applause. I really do. Even though there's been a lot of shit with the UFC and, Dana White ducking and dodging the media, the whole debacle with John Jones and the whole debacle with, the heavyweight division and the women's bantamweight division, I'm still a fan. I'm still going to be a fan, diehard fan. And I'm really excited to see the UFC and mixed martial arts at the White House, man. It's a big event, and I hope it delivers, honestly. If Max beats Dustin, then Max versus Hooker for the BMF. BMF will be on the line versus Dustin. BMF will be on the line versus Dustin. I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know, Sun God. So the BMF title will be held on the line, and I do see Dustin Poirier winning that fight. So I don't know how the BMF title will be held with Max Holloway and Dan Hooker. But I did mention I would have loved to see Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway. I did mention that a couple vids back. So that's a fight that could happen without the BMF title, in my opinion. That's an exciting fight. That's just an exciting scrap. So, I mean, Max Holloway versus Hooker, Dan Hooker, I think that's the fight to make before Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes fight. I think that's awesome. So we got Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the heavyweight gold. We got Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes for the bantamweight gold. And then we got Max Holloway versus Dan Hooker. All right, for potentially the BMF title or just a scrap. That's going to be exciting. I like the start of this card right now, the way we're building it. This is great matchmaking right here, guys. Let me see. Dana be in Trump's ear. He got all the right connections. Dana definitely does, and he's making all the right moves right now to, propel the UFC and mixed martial arts to new heights. To be honest with you, and it's confusing to me because as a hardcore fan, I can't agree with a lot of the decisions that the UFC and Dana White are making. However, I cannot stand here and say that the UFC is not at its most popular height. It really is. The UFC is definitely popular. Mixed martial arts is definitely popular, and I'm happy. I'm happy about it, guys. But anyways, guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right, like I always say, this is your channel. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media. All right, and this is your channel, guys. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for building this community and being here, bantering with me. I really appreciate you guys. All right, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. I'll most likely get live once again later on tonight, but we shall see, guys. I'll see you next time. Stay blessed, and we got a UFC event at the White House, guys. That's something to be excited for. Peace. One love.